Alrighty, hopefully this is up and running. Let's see. We going? Hope we're going. Oh. Yep, I think we're live. Oh. Could hear myself. Sweet. Let's start this again. There we are. Hello, everyone. As I said in the story on Instagram, doing some late night editing now. Had a photo shoot today, went very well, had a lot of fun. The socks shots. Forgot about the socks. When did we get the shoes back? About here. The disappointing thing is I like this one, but it was darker than the others. I know that we got some good ones. That one's nice. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's the thumbnail. Do like that one. Yeah, I forgot about that. See, the annoying thing is some of these earlier shots were really good, but he didn't have the goddamn shoes on. I'll rate them anyway. Maybe I'll be able to do a shoe replacement or something. Did some stuff with different clothes. Alright, let's get back to this. Wait, he's not even wearing the shoes there either. Right, we had the shoes here. Did we do any with... yes, we did do some with split legs. The legs went off the screen. That one's nice. Did I rate that one already? I did. Rating that one too. That one's nice. Yeah, it's good. I like that one. I mean, I used it in the thumbnail. I clearly like it. I'm gonna go through and tag these other ones that we did for a couple of other shoots. That one's good. Love the shirt in that one. That one's really good. Yeah, I mean it's that one. Easy. Next. I remember that we changed the light after a bit. I'm saving that one for me. Great. Love it. Final shot. Perfect. Ooh, that's a good scarf. But I also... There was another scarf that I really liked. Was that an earlier scarf? I mean, that scarf's pretty cool. But no, that one's pretty good. So out of these ones, got 1, 2. Oh yeah, that's right. So I will need to get some of the jumping shots. How many jumping shots do we get without the book? Did we get one without the book? Alright, well, this one it is. That's good. Okay. I think I'm ready to move on to the next phase. Yep. I like this selection. Oh, it's such a good pose, but he wasn't wearing the shoes! Is his foot roughly the same? I can do a shoe replacement. That'll be easy enough. Because goddamn, that's a good pose. We didn't do another one like that. So good though. Well, I'm marking that one up. I love that one too. Once again, no shoes. Shoe replacement. Sorry, I can't. That one's just too good. Primitive man. And he says he's never mulled before. Look at that. Look at that. That's so good. I love it. Ooh, wait, hang on. Cross-reference. Maybe. I might be able to use those shoes. Who knows? We will see. I like it though. That's getting a 3. No, I don't think we did as good as the earlier ones, and it's disappointing. To make a long story short, a lot went on. First, I accidentally sent him to the wrong location, and then he accidentally left the shoes, So I had to get my roommates to drop off some shoes. That one's good. Wait, what is going on? Oh, that's better. Sorry, it's just my screen. Alright. Little bit darker. Let's get 50. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're getting it to a point where I'm happy to start playing around in Photoshop. Okay, let's enable profile correction. It's a bit green in places. Can we get the background white? Can we get his shirt white? Very different. Why is that green? I'll fix that in Photoshop, I guess. Yep, that's nice. This one's also really good. This one will have to be edited a little bit differently. Whites up, highlights down. No, opposite. Whites down a bit, highlights up, shadows down a little bit, blacks up a little bit. Yep, I'm liking that. Detail, not yet. These ones, good. Bit of sharpness. Yeah, that's good. God, I love that one. I love it so much. I can't get over this shot. Like, yes, it definitely needs some work. The lighting on the shirt's a bit strange. But, God, the pose and the expression, so good. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to use that one. In one way or another. The shoe replacement's going to be so much easier because there's only one foot showing. I mean, this one's also good. But something about this one, I like it. Now, actually, I'm gonna go. Back here, because I believe. Aha. There is a blank canvas, but it's before we put the spot in. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna open this one in Photoshop. Yeah, that's gonna be the best one for the shoe replacement. Yeah, there we go. Shoe is a bit blurry. Interesting. I might have to use a different one for the shoe replacement, actually. Clearly he was moving a lot. Should I use broncolors? Didn't though. Ooh, that should better? Oh, a little bit. Those shoes are a bit better. That shoe's not bad. That shoe's pretty good. Might have to use that one. Oh, well, can I just use that one? Tough. I can use that shoe. That'll be fine. Give me that shoe. Just need the shoe. O'clock, time to feed the fish. Yeah, not bad. Okay, what is going on with this song? Next. Aliens. All right. Oh, the tape. Yeah, no, that's okay. We don't need the tape. Since we're on the cyc, we had to tape over the shoes. The bottoms of them, at least. Yeah, that's good enough. At least we sort of matched up the angles. Really rough. Just get it close-ish to the edge. Yeah, that'll be good enough to start off with. Once again, just really rough. Good enough. Or is that part of the pants? Could be a part of the pants, in which case, sort of. No, that's definitely not. Let's harden it a little bit more. Already looking better. Yeah. Alright. Oops. So the reason that I use the polygon lasso tool is because when I get this close, it will typically smooth itself out anyway. And so it still makes a pretty smooth line. Why again? Once again, it's just regular game audio. Alright. Let's... Whoops. Let's smooth that out a little bit. Nope. Please do not sample all layers. Huh? Okay. It's better. There's more game audio. I know that's game audio. You know what? I'm going back to the start. There we go, that's good enough. Select, modify, let's feather that by, I usually go 2. It's not bad. There we go. Much closer to how it should be. Alrighty. Huh, that's interesting. according to this, the darkest part of the shoe isn't actually that different from the darkest part of his pants. That's not right. Oh yeah, okay. The very darkest part. Yeah, so let's get a curves layer on that shoe. Let's bring it up a little bit. Well, it's looking good from threshold. And it's honestly looking pretty good from the actual thing too. Might bring it up a little bit more. But I don't want this highlight, so I might honestly drop that down a bit. Highlight on the back of the shoe that I don't like. I'll dodge that. Yeah, I'll dodge it. Yeah, not bad. We've added in the proper shoe. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'll worry about that highlight later. Let's make a copy of the background. Let's select this area. Need to rasterize. Wait, what am I doing? Just undid the rasterize. Content aware fill. And let's fill it in with the background, please. Damn, pretty good. Let's get a mask. There we go. Nice. Shoe removal. Background copy. Background. What's this one? Shoe replacement. Not show replacement, shoe replacement. Shoe right match. Actually, how's that highlight beforehand? Ooh. Could I just go like that? Yes, I can. The answer is yes. Yes, I can. But I'm going to go here because this there we go. That's much better. Excellent. That's a good looking shoe. And that's just threshold, I don't have to do anything with that. So now the black of the shoe comes in around about the same time as the black of everything else in the shop. Nice. It's going to be a little bit darker because it was they were darker than the pants. This green spot, I don't know what that is. It's not the first time it's happened though. I think I need to definitely get that looked at. But to fix that, I'm gonna do selective color. Let's get greens. Let's add a bit more magenta first off. Take out the cyan. Take out the yellow. Let's see how we have done so far. Alright, so we're a bit on the yellow side now, but I feel like some of this might still be a bit green, even though we should have eliminated it completely. Unless that's just because I remember seeing green there. Why does this look green to me? It's very yellow. Well, what's that? Purple, okay. Well, let's go back into selective color. Let's get the yellows. Let's take out a bit of cyan, which is doing nothing. Bit more magenta. Take out the yellow. Shouldn't be doing anything. Oh no, it should be doing a lot because I'm taking out yellow. I guess it's not actually affecting the image too much. That's alright. Even so, I'm just going to invert that mask. Oh! Yeah, I know why it's not working. Had the image in front of it. Yikes, Thanos. Let's just undo that. Cyan makes it a little bit more red. Add a bit of magenta, decrease some of the yellow. And while it doesn't look good on any of his skin, it's making this section that was green look a lot nicer. So we're going to invert that mask. And we're just going to paint it in over that green spot. There we go. I like it. Maybe a little bit green there. Yeah, it's good enough. Green removal. Alright. It's coming. It's coming together. Alrighty. I am gonna get a quick drink of water and then I'll be back. And we are back. Hello everyone. Now I want to see something. The leg of those pants, which is right here. I'm gonna get a curves layer, invert it, brightness up a tiny bit, because I really just want to bring the edge back on these pants just a little bit so they stand out from the shoe. Bring that up. Yep. I can take it back. Yeah, there we go. That's looking good. Just then you can see the edge of the pants in front of the shoe. Nice. It still looks green. Still looks green to me. Could be because it's potentially just not warm. It's not red. So if I add a little... I was going to say add a little bit of magenta. 1% is enough. Cyan down by 1. No. Yeah, no. It's got to be like that. Unless, no. I say no. I'm doing it anyway. My idea was to literally just take out all color from anything that isn't his skin. Completely desaturated. Yeah, it looks monotone. What if I just took it down a bit? That's actually not bad. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Is it almost time to do some actual adjusting? Sure. I cannot think of anything else to do. Desaturate clothes. Cool. Spot heal. Sweet. Yeah, we'll start with the spot heal brush. Now, when you're spot healing with multiple layers, or, well, when you're doing anything in terms of healing with multiple layers, whether it's the clone tool, heal brush, spot heal, patch, you always want to tell it to, where is it? Sample all layers. Up at the top there. Trust me. If you don't sample all the layers, then it's only going to get the empty layer that you've just made. And that's not good. Aha, but the patch tool doesn't work. That's right. Only... God damn it, we've gotten to the weird audio from the game again. Which is disappointing, because I love these songs. Yeah, that's looking better. And I'm gonna clean up this edge here. Don't even need to heal that. Okay, now up here, since it's close to the edge, I'm gonna use the clone brush. Luckily, the pattern repeats enough that I can do it without it looking. There's the alien spaceship, and that means it's time to choose other music. Alright, where's a good one? Why don't we just get some relaxing stuff going? Yeah, this one sounds good. Animal Crossing city folk music to study, chill, relax to. Good enough. Click back in here. Just gonna fix this edge a tiny bit. There we go. Gonna sample it from down there. Now it's good to sample it from a whole bunch of different places because it reduces the amount that it will repeat. Because we don't want that. It's very, very noticeable. Okay, right along the edge. And that's good enough. And so, if you see the difference between these two, makes the book look a lot nicer. Yep. Cool. Just gotta check any spots on his shirt. Any spots on the tie. Oop, there's a little spot there. Let's try the spot here. Yeah, not bad. Any spots on the pants? No, looking good. Okay. I'll do a little bit of skin retouching. Now it's important to note, I'm leaving out anything that looks like it might be a mole. Moles are characteristic features, while pimples come and go. Obviously, if someone asks you to remove a mole, then by all means, but usually, just rule of thumb, leave the moles. There we go. It's looking pretty good. You know what? I'm actually going to get rid of this part of the shirt. It's about time to do a stamp. Stamp 01. Which which basically marks the progress point. So it's essentially me saying, I like everything I've done so far, time to do more. Okay. You know what? How about the patch tool? No, what am I doing? Of course not. Okay. Okay. Let's just clean this up a little bit. Still a bit too dark. So let's undo. Just gonna select from over here. Okay, so realistically that should be the same color roughly, and it is. So I can go over the edges of that. Blend it in. There we go, nice. And obviously we want to get rid of any lens spots. And sometimes, this is another good thing about threshold, makes the lens spots show up a lot easier, because they will be, like look, there's one there. Can't really notice it, but it's there. Is that one right there? No, that's just his pants. Okay, checking for lens spots. Actually, I think we got pretty lucky this time around. Excellent. Alrighty. Yep. Lens spot's gone. A little bit of that shirt gone. Hair's not bad. Like, realistically, I could, if I really wanted to, I would get rid of, well, I guess just that bit. Or you could keep going and get rid of that whole section. I don't think it's that necessary. If I really want to clean it up, I'll probably go back later and do that, but for now, no, not really. Alright. Might be time to start dodging and burning. I've got a little action here that sets up my dodging and burning folder, which I find quite handy. Okay, hardness all the way down. Just want to do quite rough, large strokes. It's very basic. I'm not worrying about it getting onto the edge of him just right now. Gonna light up the other side of this arm because it's a bit pale. Same with this one. The arms ended up being a bit dark. Well, actually this one just needs one on that side. Yep. Get the highlight in the hair. Let's get that highlight in that one. Now it's a bit too bright on his face. So I'm going to take a black brush with lower opacity. I'm just going to go over this middle part once, maybe twice. Yep, cool. Bring the opacity back up. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to make sure that anything that bled onto the background no longer bleeds onto the background. Just clean up these edges a bit. And I'm just going to get in real close and make sure this edge, because I noticed that this edge got a bit darker. Can make sure that edge is nice and bright. Same with that one. Get it real close. Because I don't want a glowing arm. And even if there's a bit above it, what this is doing right here is giving us a line that we'll be able to see when we go into the mask view. We can then use, see here? So now we can get rid of any of those other glowing parts. Certainly needs to be rough, realistically. Because you're not going to notice it too much. Okay, I'm liking that. Time to start burning. Oh, wait, actually, I'm gonna go over some of his clothes. Just sort of going over these highlights. Once again, just needs to be rough. And the reason that it just needs to be rough is because I'm going to go over it again, but with the burn tool. And I'm going to go over all those shadows, and so the difference is going to be made then. Now, just trying to hit all those spots, make them pop. And also I'm going to lighten this dark section because it was a bit too dark for my liking. Yep. And I'm going to do the same with his pants. Get a nice bright spot right on the edge. Oops. Nice bright spot right on that edge too. Cover the pant leg. Yep. And then I'm going to go over this middle section because it's a bit too dark for me. Which I know I basically just undid the hard edge, but it's got this little separation in it. So it still works. Cool. All right. Burn tool. So this is essentially the exact opposite of the highlight tool. See, look at that. Very dark in those shadows. Now, it's too dark at the moment, but it means that we can bring it back afterwards. Okay, get it in the creases. It's just really upping that contrast of the shot. I'm actually going to get rid of that one. It's making the middle a bit too dark for me. Okay. Contour the pants, which is going to be a lot harder since the pants are quite dark already. Yeah, no, maybe I won't contour the pants. What I will do is contour his face and hair. And also, if you look on the actual curves themselves, the dodge is angled a little bit more towards the highlight side, and the burn is angled a little bit more towards the shadow side. So if I do go over, let's just find a part that doesn't have highlights on it, right here. So, yeah, so if I do go over this spot with both of them, see, it does actually change, even though both of them are on it. Because it's getting the difference. It's basically just upping the contrast on that one spot. Which is why, even if it's rough, it doesn't really matter, because you're still changing the image. You know what? I think I'm at the point where I want to sort of affect this a little bit. Yep, there we go. You know what? I'm going to get it on the side of his face, and I'm going to stop it a bit short. And I'm going to get his ear. There we go. I'm going to get that dodge tool. I just want to bring back a little bit of color in his eyes, because they got hit with the shadow a bit. And not the shadow of the burn tool, I'm meaning the light coming down onto his face. Obviously your eyebrows have ridges, which then casts shadow onto your eyes. A little bit under the nose too. There we go. So let's just do a little bit of a comparison with where we started to where we've gone to now. I'm liking it. Pops. It pops a lot more. Still to go. I'm going to lighten up this arm because it's a lot darker than the rest of it. I'm going to whiten his teeth a little bit. He's got lovely teeth. Just doing a bit of whitening because all of our teeth are yellow. Yep. But I'm liking it. And then after that, we're going to... We might not need to. I was thinking about potentially bringing him a little bit down in the canvas, but realistically, he's jumped at the perfect height, so if we just put a bit of shadow underneath him, it should work. So I'm going to make another stamp. Stamp 2. Sorry, stamp 02. There we go. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... There's a little split on his lip. I'm just going to fix that for him. Little highlights that I'm just going to get rid of. There we go. And I'm going to take a hue and saturation layer. Just going to desaturate a bit. Oops. Brighten a tiny bit. Let's invert that. I know that I've used the wrong tool for this, but at least I'll be able to get a little bit of progress. Actually, it's not bad. It's subtle. You don't want to whiten them too much. You don't want it to be unrealistic. I like it. Excellent. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch up the teeth that are in there. I'll have to go with a little bit of a finer brush. Okay, let's just double check that mask. Yep. And sweet. I'm actually going to get this just a little bit more so it fades away. There we go. I'm liking it. I am very much liking it. Next, I'm just going to bring his, his right arm, but the arm on the left side of the shot. Going to bring this more into the realm of his other arm. So for the curves layer, I'm essentially doing the exact same thing that I was doing when I was dodging, but it's just a much larger brush. What I'm actually going to do at this point is I'm going to select the subject because I really don't want to get a glow on his arm. We want the arm to pop, we don't want the arm to glow. And honestly, that'll probably work. Because it just makes that separation between the edge. Obviously, we'll blend it in a little bit more. But I think that that is going to... Yeah, see, obviously we've got to fix this edge. However, that gives us a lot more leeway than if we weren't. There we go. Get a little bit of that. Awesome. Before, after, before, after. Got a little bit of the shirt. I'm not really complaining though. Take it out a little bit. Just cause. See, that's just brought that arm much more into the brightness of the other one. Cool. What I'm actually going to do is with this layer, since we've got it on dodge, just going to touch up his eyes a little bit. Oops, wrong one. we go. See, it's not too different. Sort of looks like night vision engaged. Pew! Cool. I am really liking it. And so now I think we're up to making the shadow. That's exciting. Because while the ground is about, I think, whoops. While the ground is, I think, about down here, we don't need to know that. Ooh, actually, there are a few things that I'm going to do. A few more things. I just remembered some of the other stuff that I was going to do. So I am going to take a circle tool, a new layer, circle about that big. Move it to about there, roughly. Bit smaller, much shorter. Mimic the ground. Yep. Jumped out of a hole. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the blur gallery, and I'm actually going to get a tilt shift, convert it to a smart object. Now, I entirely recommend using a tilt shift blur when making shadows, because, and I'll show you why, if I increase the blur, it will actually make a gradiated blur. So it's stronger the further away you go from this center point. You can also put it in the middle. Change that. And so it can be very useful for doing stuff like this. And so you can change the amount that it's being blurred by. And actually what I'm trying to do here is I'm actually just looking at 1/2. Because what I want I'm going to essentially cut it in half and then paste it over. Because realistically with a shadow like this, it's going to be a little bit stronger in the middle. There we go. Can use a little bit of processing power. Give it a minute. Give it a minute for my computer to die, basically. There we go. And actually, already I'm not too unhappy with it. If I set it to overlay, then you sort of get more of an idea of what it's like. It's subtle, and I'm liking it so far. Sort of want to hide that edge a little bit more. So what I'm essentially doing is I'm mixing a layer that's on overlay, which is going to give you a much more realistic look with the shadow. And I'm mixing it a bit with a layer that's going to be on something else, just to sort of darken it. I could set it on overlay again, but overlay and overlay sort of boosts it a bit too much. Multiply could be good. So realistically, it'll just add a bit of darkness to it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on to luminosity. Luminosity, let's go about 30. And then what we're going to do is we're going to blur it again with a Gaussian blur, which is a word that everyone says differently. So I'm actually going to blur it a little bit more, less. Try and find that nice middle ground right about there. So if I show it all, it's basically just adding a bit of depth to the shadow, making it more noticeable. I'm liking what it's doing, but I'm not liking how it looks on the edge, so I'm actually going to put a mask on. I'm just going to remove it at the edge a little bit, not too much. There we go. So the shadow's coming together. Might still be a little bit sharp on that one edge, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Gaussian blur again. Yep. I'm liking how that's looking. A little bit lower. Yep. Shadow 1. Shadow 2. Cool. And I'm actually just going to stick these in a folder called shadow. Now what did I do here? Yes. So this is brighten. I believe this is the truth whitening layer. Yes, it is. Truth brighten. Okay. And so we're just going to bring this shadow down a little bit to, yeah, probably there. Do a check once again with the original. So it went from this to that. I'm liking it. I am liking it. Nice. Alright, now I'm just going to do a few extra things, make another stamp. The way I see it, there's always more that you can do. And what I'm going to do now is do a little bit of sharpening. I've got a couple of actions that give me a micro contrast unsharp mask and a high pass edge mask, which doesn't do a super obvious amount of sharpening, but you can definitely tell. So essentially what the micro contrast mask will do is, it's sort of like the clarity slider in Lightroom. It's going to make the brights brighter, it's going to make the darks darker, it's going to add contrast. But it's micro contrast, so it's not too noticeable. But when you print these images, you'll just notice that it's much crisper. I think that it's going a bit too far though, because I've already done a lot of that myself. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Yep, I'm liking that. And now we're going to take a look at the high pass sharpen mask. So you can sort of notice it here. Let's take a look at the hair. Off, on, off, on, off, on. So essentially what it is going to be doing, if you take a look sort of in the middle of his skin, and I turn it off and then on, right in the middle of the frame, it's not doing very much, and that's because it has an edge mask. So essentially what it's doing is it's looking at the edges, the like big shifts in contrast of the image, and it is going to sharpen those more than when it's more flat. And so essentially what it's going to be doing is it will be sharpening the sections between him and the background, especially the pants because they're black. It's going to be sharpening those a lot, and it's essentially going to be sharpening the background almost nothing. And so it gives you this really crisp edge that just sharpens everything a bit. And you can also, so it's on overlay at the moment, and you can make it sharpen it more, not always recommended. If you just bring it down to like soft or hard light or even linear. Linear will sharpen it quite a lot, as you can see. It's quite noticeable. Off, on. And I'm not going to go for linear light, but maybe I'm going to take a look at hard light. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Gonna take a look down here, because this is where it's going to be sharpening it the most. Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm actually going to duplicate that layer, which normally you wouldn't want to do that, but what I want to do is I'm just going to open this and very roughly going to remove pretty much everything, because what my intentions are for this one is I'm actually going to use it on his eyes, because I think out of everything his eyes could be a little bit sharper. So I'm just going to single out his eyes. So I'm just bringing the edge mask still, because I don't want to sharpen all of his eyes. Just bringing the edge mask closer and closer till we get to around here. Take out the nose, we don't want to sharpen that. So this is essentially going to sharpen his eyes twice, which I think we'll be able to get away with if we do it subtly. Right now it's not. Not too much at least. It's giving us a little bit of that gross, too sharp effect. So I'm going to switch that to overlay. Oops. Okay, switch that off, switch that on. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to touch up these little areas to make it look a little too obvious, which is the section between the reflections in his eye and everything else. Now, when did that get very over-exaggerated? Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to completely unsharpen the whites of his eyes. I'm going to do that in both. Yep. Yeah, that's much nicer. Alrighty. Well, I think that might be a finished image. Let's take one last look. I'm going to put those in a folder, call it sharpening. Okay, let's start by checking the thresholds. Ah, you know what? No, that's not it. I remember the last thing I was going to do. Threshold is looking good though. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp it one last time. Well, I say one last time. I'm going to stamp it at the end. So second last time, technically. I'm going to select the subject. Because I'm going to do a little trick to sort of draw your eye into the image. Which I have chosen a very difficult subject for Photoshop to sort of recognize between him and the background. Okay. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think so far. We've got a little bit longer to go, but we're almost done. But yeah, let me know if you're enjoying it, because I plan on doing these, well, at least every time I'm editing a photo for my folio. They're going to be all quite different from one another. But I think it'll look pretty good. The folio as a whole, I mean. I think the folio as a whole will look pretty good. It's all going to be different character portraits for different theatre shows. Theatre shows? For different musicals, I mean. Whole bunch of different character portraits. I'm going to do a Wicked Witch shoot, doing a Shrek shoot. Because for those who don't know, there's a Shrek musical. I'm going to be doing Freaky Friday. Addams Family, because there's an Addams Family musical. Yep. Yeah, each shoot is going to be different. It's going to be unique, and I think it's going to be pretty good. Okay. Now I should have selected his head pretty well. I'm gonna go over his head with a refine hairbrush. Because honestly it should pick it up pretty well. It's dark hair on a white background. There we go. So yeah, obviously the subject select tool didn't do the best job, but that's to be expected when it's a white shirt on a white background. Not very contrasty, but you know, it did a pretty good job. I'm just going to go over his arm pretty roughly as well, because that's also going to be something I'm going to use the refine hair tool on. Alrighty. There we go. Cool. Now, so what I'm actually doing is, eventually, once I've selected the entire subject, which will hopefully be a little bit easier when we get to the darker pants, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to set up a, I guess, sort of hotspot in the middle of the background, which was a bit of advice I got from my mentor, actually. Which draws your eye into the middle of the frame, highlights the subject, and all in all just looks quite good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I will remove some chromatic aberration from the entire image, because quite frankly it didn't do everything. Now I did try and get an actual hotspot on the actual shoot, but everything was sort of a bit too bright and it washed everything out anyway. So it didn't really work, but that's okay. Go. The tie should be pretty good, and we're almost done. We're about at the point where we started to fix everything, and we just got to it. Cool. Right, now I'm going to go up to Select and Mask, and I'm going to click Refine Hair. Now, yes. Now I've done a bit of a mistake. Let's click on Show Edge. Oh, it has actually done just a refine edge on just the hair. Now, Let's get this on black. Okay. Let's take another stab at this refine hair, shall we? Oop. Ah, I see. So basically just going to use this refine hair tool to remove any of those stray hairs. And then we're going to take it down the arm. Bring back all the arms on his hair, all the hairs on his arm. Gonna undo that one a little bit. Didn't really work, that's okay. There we go. Just trying to get a bit more of that hair. Bit. Let's turn the hardness all the way down. Okay, just fix up the little issues that the refine hair tool has given us. Seems that all we're doing is fixing things that we've used to try and fix things. But it's not a miracle product, it's only Photoshop, so... It's all trial and error, to be honest. Yep. And I am going to try and see if there's any hair that it can find on this side of the arm. Which it probably won't. And it hasn't really, but we can sort of use what it's given us to fake hair. But I think that's looking pretty good. Now obviously, when it's on black, you can see an edge. But when we put it on white... Perfect. But we don't want it on white, we want an onion skin. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm going to put it on black again. Now, let me check decontaminate colors. Now, it has given us a slightly nicer edge, especially around that hair, I think, if we decontaminate the colors. I see, it's just brought it a little bit closer to his skin tone. I'm going to uncheck that purely because we're still going to have white behind it. So it doesn't really matter too much. But I am going to check the hair. I'm going to get the shift edge tool. I'm going to shift it in just a little bit. Or I'm not. Or I'm not going to shift it at all. Yep. 0%. It's good. Like it. Yep. Okay. So now, output to selection. Let's output to a new layer. We go okay. And so now, what we have here, which I'm going to give an example by putting some text, which is what I did for the thumbnail. There we go. We essentially have him separated from the background, which will work for what we want to do. So essentially all I'm going to do is I'm going to get another curves layer. I'm going to brighten everything. Invert the mask. I'm going to go down to the bucket tool, switch it over to the gradient tool, and I'm going to get this radial gradient up here. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to paint it back in. Right behind him. So as you can see, just sort of getting a bit of a circular gradient behind him, which it's a bit of trial and error to see where you want it. That's not bad, but probably go for something a little closer to his head. Yeah, that's pretty good. And basically what that's doing is it's drawing your eye into the photo. Could potentially get a little bit of a gradient behind him as well. We can also make it stronger if we wanted to see more. I like it right there, I think. And I'm going to go back to the stamp, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it for smart filters, because what we're essentially going to be doing is the exact opposite of what we just did. We're going to be giving it a vignette in lens corrections, and while we're here we can also get rid of that chromatic aberration. So let me just double check to see if our chromatic aberration adjustment has worked, because it was mainly on that shoe where it was the most noticeable. Turn it off, turn it on. Okay, so actually I'm gonna keep it off, because while it is a bit noticeable on that shoe, when I turn it on, it's giving it a hard blue edge, which is essentially doing the exact opposite of what we wanted it to do. So we're going to zoom out. And we're going to get that vignette. And we're not going to do it this much, don't worry. But we're essentially going to be just darkening the background. And while it's darkening him as well at the moment, we are editing the layer underneath the subject separation that we got. So he's still going to be bright. It's mainly just going to be the background that's dark. And we do want it to be a bit over-exaggerated, because that means we can pull it back. And I'm liking that. So if I click OK, there we go. And see, it's just given us this really nice effect. And so what we can do is we can, actually what I'm going to do is, rather than, actually no, scratch that. I am going to take the opacity down just to see where we want to get it. Damn, it does look good all the way though. Probably about, let's try, I think 50% looks pretty good. Which means that, and I'm going to turn the opacity all the way up just in case there was anything that we did to the stamp that wasn't background related. But there is a mask for the smart filters, and because we know that we need it to be at 50%, we ask for mid-gray. We say, please Photoshop, may we have mid-gray? And we're just going to paint that back in. Which has given us that nice effect. And see, we've got that little spot highlight behind him. We've got a nice gradient behind him. Now, if I'm not mistaken, do we have another bit of... No, No, we don't. I thought we had another lens spot. We don't, which is good. Alrighty. And just to show, that's what it looks like when we don't have that subject separation right there. It looks much nicer with it. And even that just darkens the whole thing. Alrighty. Subject separation. And then, as I said, since we are at the end with this from this, liking it a lot more. As I said, we stamp it at the very end, which is taking a bit at the moment. That's all right. I may have pressed the wrong button and it's doing something completely different from what I wanted it to do. It's okay. Or this file has just gotten to 2 gigs and it's just going to take a while. When I say take a while, I mean really take a while. There we go. It just made an empty layer. That doesn't seem right. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so, yep, just double check. Zoom in, make sure that everything we've done so far is still there. We've got that edge sharpening, the eyes are nice and sharp, teeth are whitened. The book is looking good. No blemishes on his clothes, his arm is nice and bright. We've replaced the shoe. Alright. Final, and I'm going to call this final 01 just in case. You never know if you're going to go back and do anything to it later. But let's take a look, shall we? I think that that is pretty damn good. I'm definitely liking that a lot more than we had with the original. The original's still good. I think it worked well during the shoot. But I think that the post has just sort of pushed it up a bit more, which is quite nice. I'm actually going to do one more thing. So I lied. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get, and which, once again, that's why we call it Final 01. However, since we're still editing, I'm just going to delete it. I just want a quick curves layer. Bring it up a little bit. Yep, it's probably a bit too much, but that's all right. Because once again, we can always bring it back. Essentially, what I want to do is I just want to lighten the shadow made by his cheeks just a little bit. And I'm going to touch up that nose, touch up the eyes very briefly. Just get that chin a little bit. Okay, I have no idea what happened in the corner there. It's part of this layer, so we're just going to erase that. No idea what happened there. All right. Okay. So we're almost done. Can always find more things to edit. Always, always. Okay. So I think we've just given it a bit more contrast. Sorry, not more contrast. We've given it a bit less contrast on his face from some of those shadows created by the overhead light. We don't want to take them out completely. We just want to reduce them a little bit. So I'm probably going to do that at about 50%. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. Thinking about 62 should be good. Yep. I might do one more just adjustment on the highlight. Whoops, wrong one. Just while we're going through, I want those highlights to pop. Because the side light ended up not being as strong as intended, but that's okay. There we go. Nice. Dodge, O2, dodge, face. There we go. Make our last stamp. There we go. Stamp, final 01. What we ended with, what we started with, ended, started, ended, started. Okay. And so now that we are done in Photoshop, I'm going to go and save this. There we go. Just got to give it a second. Gets to 99% very quickly, and then it takes about the time that it would normally take it from 0 to 100 to finish off. Now, actually, while that's... Oh, just finished. That's good. So, I know that we took a couple of other photos into Photoshop. But I don't think we're going to do anything with those. Quite frankly, because it is 11:30 and I think I've been editing for about 3 hours. So I'm not going to save any of these. But I probably will touch them up a little bit later. So I'm going to go back into Lightroom because now that we've finished that, we should, yeah, here we are, be able to bring them up side by side. So the one on the right is the original, the one on the left is the one that we ended with, and I think that it looks pretty good. I really like it. Alrighty. Well, on that note, this has been editing the Book of Mormon photo shoot. Had a pretty fun 3 hours doing it. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, I encourage you to obviously like it, subscribe it, all the things that people say. I will be doing more of these. Basically, as I said, every shoot in this series I'm going to be editing, and I'm just going to do it more in the future when I'm not doing client work. If I'm doing personal work, I'm going to edit them on stream, because, I don't know, I find it fun. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.